Can we just cover the bit that you were explaining earlier about the way you've set the desk up for monitors and the laptop?
Yeah. So both laptops around, you can see.
Yeah.
On each. So this, not sure how it'll come out, but basically in the custom layer, I have all my auxiliary, the ear sends, and then the channels that I need on one tab, and then I can simply just hit mix on any, and it shows me the sends on faders for those channels. Similarly, I've got separate for the wedges, for the effect sends, and for DCAs. But usually I just stick in the IEM page because that's what they listen to most of the time, and just tweak the faders up and down or the pan accordingly, you know, each day, which doesn't really change that much, but you know, do a little bit. Likewise for Steve.
Yeah, over on my side of things, let me just drag this over a little bit so you can see what the tab's saying. So yeah, I've got I keep playing around from day to day and change what layer, and eventually you come across one that you think, yes, that'll do me for the show, and that's generally what I play with. So on this setup I've got a whole load of VCAs, I've got a delay send because sometimes I feed different things to the delay. Again, my effects returns, you can put anything in any colour, whatever you want, whatever makes sense for yourself really. If you make things stand out, I've made the delay purple because I'll be fading that in and out. The main vocals I've pulled up, some spares, and a few other bits and bobs on channels that I need. If I want to see more channels, I just click on a different layer, and I've got one that's more general layout that you'd see on a regular desk. You've got most of your channels and VCAs and whatever you like on those, or you can have a layer with just your effects. Like I say, you can put whatever you want on a custom layer. You could also, if I wanted to look at the surface, I can see what Ben's doing on the surface as well, but generally I just stay with this layer. I pull down my delay, so I can just tap away whenever the song starts. Click, 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 off you go. There's your delay time. I've got a little analyzer that I pull down here as well, so whatever is PFL'd will feed the analyzer, and we can see what's going on, so I can see certain frequencies that may be affected by the room, or microphone might not be quite right today, or it's a bit out of place or whatever, and I can see what's going on. Other than that, it's real simple. I don't have to hit mix on mine. I just push faders up and down. Again, I can if I want to. If you see what I'm actually doing is I'm using a stereo aux for mine, so when I hit mix on that, you'll see whatever channels I have are all at 0, and because they're all post fade, I just pull the faders up and down to alter the relevance within that mix, so I don't have to hit a mix on that. I can hit mix 8. Ben can, on his computer, he can hit a mix on that, and he can also then, if he wants to, hit a mix on the desk, so 3 separate mixes can be altered all at the same time. You don't have to do one thing at a time, which you would with any other desk. If you used a similar idea with another desk, if you had an editor open, whatever you did on that, the desk would jump to it and show you it. Whatever brand of desk it is, they all do that. But with this one, because it's its own surface, it's not operating the desk. It talks to the brain. It's its own separate surface, can be laid out how it wants, and you can do what you like with it. So whenever I hit a mix, it doesn't appear on there. It doesn't show up. I'm hitting mix 8. The mix button is not on mix 8 for Ben. He is on whatever.
Yeah, mix 1. Mix stereo one on that. So.
Whereas I can just go and click mix 8, and he is still on mix.
On the monitor computer, mix 3 we're on there, so it's all separate.
Cool.
So you can in effect change as many computers as you attach to it. You can change as many things each time because it's a fresh surface.
Cool, well thanks for that. I see you're not using any other mic, as you said earlier, that you're not using any other mic pre's or any other effects, so everything's in the desk, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, it is, yeah, you just plug straight in and away you go. It sounds really natural and smooth. There's very little you need to do, which is a good thing. I just put a high pass filter in, push the fader up, and that's a really good starting point. I don't need to start butchering anything at all. The only time I really need to tweak EQs is whenever a room takes hold of things, or you get a rubbish PA occasionally. Then one of the things on my side of things is space at front of house. I don't have any issues bringing anything into any venue now. There's no there's no issue. Oh, you can't bring a desk in. It's like, it's my laptop. It's sat on top of yours. That's it. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, you can't run a multi-core. It's like, there's no multi-core. It just runs off of Wi-Fi. It's fine. And they're like, oh, okay. Again, there's no issues. If it loses connection, which it hasn't, which has surprised me. I would expect it to at some point, but it's just not lost. I even did a show with another act at Glastonbury, and I was 60 metres away from the stage, and it was fine. It carried on working. It didn't lose it at all. If you do lose it, if the router loses power or anything, it simply says, do you want to reconnect? You say yes, and you just wait for it to reconnect, and you're back on. Everything keeps going. You don't lose any audio. Nothing happens. There's nothing passing through the laptops whatsoever. It's simply a remote control surface. That's all it is.
Okay. I'll just show the router.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a regular Netgear router. Bit of Velcro. Off you go. Real simple. Just a network cable. You can network it into the desk, or you can network it into the rack unit itself. Doesn't really matter. Also, with this system, you don't actually need the Surface at all. You can just plug your computer straight into the rack, or the wireless straight into the rack, have no Surface, and just do it on a laptop, which I've done also many times with another act. So there's no Surface at all. The rack can travel as part of the back line. Plug it in, away you go. Once all the inputs are into your rack, you just output into a house multicore left and right, or some monitor feeds, whatever you need, and away you go. It's done.